Let's see. I was trying to wait a few more minutes because the people that RSVP'd are not quite registered or online yet, but we can start. Let me just start this. Uh, okay, I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay. Okay. All right. So today we're gonna go over GET training and how to file your GET. We're just gonna go over the basics and the general definition of what GET is, the different percentages for each island, and then after that we'll go over some questions. Okay, so what is GET? GET is a privilege tax that's imposed from the state of Hawaii if you're doing any type of business activity in our state. For Oahu, it's 4.5%, Maui is 4%, Big Island is 4.25, and Kauai is 4.5. So basically, that's the percentage that you're paying taxes on to the state of Hawaii as a business owner. So for all of the real estate agents in the state of Hawaii, you're an independent contractor. Therefore, being a real estate agent is your business. And so because you're doing business in the state of Hawaii, this is the general excise tax that you pay to the state. The amount that you pay is generally based on your commissions. And the frequency of that depends on the amount of business activity you drive to your business on a monthly basis. They'll use that threshold to determine if you should be filing monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. So anyone that needs to file GET in the state of Hawaii is every person engaging in business. They need to file a GET. In order to file a GET, you need to first apply for your GE license. Your GE license, you can apply online in the state tax department website. We're going to be putting up the link in the chat towards the ending of the training, and also a few attachments for you to upload and use as reference. The form that you're going to be filing to get your GE license, it's called the BB-1 form. You could either print that form out online, or you can actually apply the BB-1 form through the online tax portal. So either or, you can print it out and then cut a check to the state of Hawaii for $20 and then snail mail it out to them. That's going to take maybe 4 to 5 weeks for them to mail you back your GE license number, or you can just register the BB-1 form online through their portal, pay it with a credit card, and they're able to generate that GE license for you probably within 24 hours. So it's a lot quicker. So it's up to you. So this is the frequency of any person filing for GET per year. If you are paying 2,000 or less in your GET per year, you pay semi-annually. If it's 4,000 or less, then you have to pay or file your GET quarterly. And anything over $4,000 in GET per year, you have to file monthly. So anyone that starts off as a new agent, rule of thumb is always file, check the file box semi-annual frequency if you're a new agent, because it's going to be difficult for you to retract that and change back to a semi-annual once you put in quarterly or monthly frequency. If after a few months your business is generating more income and they notice that, oh, okay, you're filing GET and it's more than 2,000, the state of Hawaii will mail you a notice letting you know, hey, we noticed that your business is getting busier. From such and such date, you're going to be required to file quarterly or monthly. They're going to let you know that your frequency in filing your GE taxes is going to change. They're going to send you a written notice. So before then, rule of thumb, check semi-annual, do it semi-annually until you get that notice, because it's going to be difficult for you to retract that should you decide to change it back to a less timely interval. So yeah. So what amount do you report on your GET? It's generally the gross commission income, and this technically isn't the amount that's written on your commission check. So based on when you're going to file your GE taxes, the best practice is to get all of your DAs. So the DA is commission instructions that you receive from us, from the brokerage, which gives a detailed breakdown of all the different splits based on that transaction. So it's instructions to escrow saying, hey, cut the check to Hale Ilua, cut the check to John Doe, cut the check to home warranty. So within that DA, there's going to be an amount on the second page that you can use as reference, and that's the amount that you're going to be reporting on your GET. It's technically not the amount that's on your check when you get it. And we're going to go through a sample DA. So here, this is a sample distribution authorization form. So this is the first page of what is a sample DA. And when you open escrow and you receive a DA like this from the brokerage, it's basically the summary breakdown of your current transaction. Who's getting paid what the brokerage is getting paid, what you as an agent is getting paid, and any deductions in between. The first page has the summary breakdown. The second page of the DA, which is here, shows a breakdown of everything in detail. So it'll show the gross commission. So on this example, it's 14,000. It'll show the breakdown of the associate royalty on the right corner where it says 40,000. I mean, sorry, $40. Wait, sorry, it says 840. Let me just make it bigger. Sorry, $840 for associate royalty. Associate royalty is the franchise fee that every agent has to pay per anniversary year. It's capped at $3,000. It's generally 6% of your gross commission income, capped at $3,000. And that goes directly to the franchise. The net commission right underneath the associate royalty. So over here, it's $8,960. That's the amount that you're reporting on your GET. So that is the amount. So out of all of your DAs, let's say you file semi-annually and you have 5 DAs, right? You always look at the second page, go to net commissions, and you highlight that amount, because that's the amount that you're going to add up, and that's the amount that you're reporting on your GET. So the net commissions times whatever the GET rate is for your state is what you're paying your GET tax on. So your GE form looks like this. This is a sample GE form that that's it's the handwritable version, where you can print it out online and then you can just fill it out using a pen. The easiest way to file your GET is to go online to the Hawaii State Tax Department portal and file this online so that you don't have to mark anything with a pen. You just fill it out online through their portal. You're going to set up a username and password and file the G45 online. The parts that you're going to be filling out on the G45 are slightly different. I've highlighted in yellow. So when you go online to the portal, it's going to look a little different from this handwritable version. But for the most part, all of these areas and sections are going to be on that portal. So what I'm going to do after our training is everyone who RSVP'd for the class, I'm going to email you a copy of this PowerPoint slide so you can use that as reference. I'll email you the portal address and another handout for reference so that you can hold on to that just in case when you are actually filing and you still have questions. So the due dates for your G45 is going to be always the 20th day of the calendar month following the end of the period. So if you're a semi-annual filer, which is twice a year, it's due July 20th and then January 20th of the new year. So if you're a semi-annual filer and your GET is due on July 20th, you're reporting income from January all the way through June 30th. So from January through June 30th, you're reporting your income, and that income is due on July 20th. And then from July 1st all the way to December 31st, that time span is what you're reporting income on. That's due the following year, January 20th. Anyone who's filing quarterly, it's always due the ending of that quarter. So there's 4 quarters in a year. First quarter is from January 1st through March 31st. So you're reporting income for first quarter, January through March 31st, and that's due April 20th. Then your second quarter is April 1st to June 30th, and that's due July 20th. So it's always due the 20th of the following month. Monthly filers is always on the 20th of the following month. So for example, July, this month, if you're a monthly filer, your June income that you're going to file for GET is due July 20th. If July 20th, it lands on a holiday or lands on a Saturday or a Sunday, it'll be due the following business day and not on the 20th if it lands on a holiday or a weekend. It'll be due the following first business day. So on top of your G45 filing, there's also one more form that you have to file called G49. That's the annual form that you file to reconcile your G45s. So this form is due on April 20th of the following year, and it's just a basic reconciliation for you to double check all of the payments that you made throughout the year. And it'll make you cross-reference and check everything so that, okay, did I pay the correct amount of GET for the entire year? And if you didn't, this is a chance for you to reconcile that and adjust it and amend anything that needs to be corrected. This is due, the G49 is due on April 20th. And it looks very, very similar to the G45 form. It looks exactly the same, except for you're adding up all of your payments that you've made on your G45s for the entire year. So if you're monthly, you're adding up all of the 12 months. If you're quarterly, you're adding up the 4 payments that you've made. And if you're semi-annually, then you're adding up the 2 payments that you made. And it's just kind of making sure that you're adding up your income correctly, redoing it so that it's reconciled and it matches the exact amount that you paid throughout the year. If you are snail mailing your G45 and you're not doing it online through the portal, this is the address that you have to send the payment, as well as the G45 printed paper, like the form out. You're going to mail it to Hawaii Department of Taxation, and it's a PO box number. I highly advise everyone to use the portal and create a username and password because it's the most efficient and everything is real time. So it's the quickest way. You pay online with a credit card or use your checking account, and everything is online, so it's easier. You don't have to wait for them to respond through snail mail. So to get any FAQs online, you can go to their website. You can also go to their portal, which is listed here. And I'll be sending everybody this so you'll have a copy of it. Then hold on, let me stop share, and then I'm going to show you so you can see a better version of the G45 form, so you have a better idea how it looks like. Okay, so if you go online and you want to print out a G45 form to do, instead of going onto the portal, you have 2 options. You can print out the hand writable version and use your pen, or you can save a PDF copy. You can upload the PDF copy to your desktop and fill it out every month and then print it out. So the PDF copy looks like this, and you're just going to be filling out these areas. So we can go through it together. So let's say that we're doing a semi-annual and we're filing for January through June, and it's due this month on the 20th. So over here where it says period ending, I'm going to put 06/30. So period ending is June 30th. My tax ID. So you're going to put your GE license number here. I'm just going to make that up. Here you have the option of putting your last 4 digits of your FEIN or Social Security number. Again, because you're an independent contractor, you're putting the last 4 digits of your Social Security number right here. This is where you put your Social Security number, the last 4 digits. Okay. Name, so you're just going to put your name. And if you scroll down to part 1, nothing in part 1 this is not where you have to fill out anything. So we're just going to pass through this. For real estate agents, you have 2 options. You can either fill out your income on line 9, where it says services, including professional, because that's your line of business, or you can fill it out under line 12, under commissions. Either one of those are okay. So let's say I'm going to put it on services, including professional, and my total for the past 6 months is $20,000. So I'm just going to input 20,000 here on column A. Column B, I'm not putting anything there because I don't have any exemptions or reductions. and automatically it'll carry forward to column C. So that's the only section you're filling out. You're not filling out anything else. After you fill everything out and everything's complete, when you print this out, you have to sign here with the pen. You have to sign here and then mail it out. So you can't digitally sign. Just make sure you print it out and sign it with a pen. Second page, your general information is already carried forward to the second page where you had filled out your GE number, your name, and the last 4 digits in the period ending. So on the second page, depending on what state you're doing or what island you're doing business on, you're skipping part 3, line 18, because this is nothing to do with the insurance commission. So it doesn't apply to us. You're going to go to part 4 and you're going to do the county surcharge. So if you're on Oahu, you're going to fill out over here your commission. You're going to put in the 20,000, because earlier on page 1 it was 20,000 for me, so I'm going to put 20,000 here, and it'll automatically go over here. Maui has no surcharge rate, so if you're doing business state of Hawaii, island of Maui, you're not going to put anything here. For the Big Island, there's a surcharge, same as Oahu, and Kauai has a surcharge. Here, it's going to be marked free already once you pick your island. Always make sure that something is checked. And all the rest of the numbers have been carried forward based on what you put from page 1 and part 4. So when you look at this, just make sure that you read every line, like when there's instructions, because it'll tell you exactly what to do. So for example, from page 1, right? It says, okay, sum of part 2 is 20,000. Everything's carried forward. Okay, it looks good. So part 4, you're gonna look at this. Part 2, contribute each county, multiple. Okay. Okay, so here.
Kristy, I've got a question. What if when like a Maui agent does a transaction on Oahu?
So if they do a transaction on Oahu, they have to pick multi.
Okay.
So which is rare, but it does happen often. Well, it happens more often for Oahu agents going to having, transactions in Maui. But Maui to Oahu is rare, but when that does happen, they have to click on multi. And they have to make sure that they remember, or when they look at the DA, they're like, oh, okay, I did a DA that closed on Oahu, a property on Oahu. Then they just got to remember that the net commissions that report on that has to be 4.5% G.E.T. and not just 4%.
Okay.
So basically page 2 just has everything carried forward. You just follow the instructions, read it, go through it, make sure that everything is here, and you print it out, sign it, and mail it out. One of the most important things is always make a copy for yourself and save it for your files, because let's say you print it out, sign it, cut a check, and you mail it out. If they never received it in the mail and they say, okay, you have a penalty because you didn't file, and you're like, I mailed it on time, I mailed everything. Okay, they're going to ask you, where's the proof? Do you have certified mail or a copy of it? Do you have any proof that it was mailed out before the 20th? They'll ask you that. And if you say, no, I don't have any copies, then you have no proof. And they're gonna leave the penalties and the interest until they actually receive your payment. So always have a copy for your files if you are not filing it online. If you file it through their portal, there's always confirmation emails that they send to you that the payment went through and that your G45 was filed. But if you're going to be doing it via snail mail and manually, where you print it out, you have to make sure you make copies. And also when you mail it out, there needs to be some sort of evidence that it was postmarked or mailed out on a specific date on or prior to the 20th, before the due date. Because it's your word against the state, and you have to have some sort of written document that it was in fact mailed and paid. I'm going to send this to you guys in the chat. So this is the portal that you can go to either apply for your GE license or to register and get a username and password for their portal. I'm also going to add on here a PDF document of, of an article that shows you tax facts. So if you can upload this to your desktop. It's tax facts from the state of Hawaii for independent contractors, just in case, a refresher. Does anybody have any questions?
Hi, Kristy. I do.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay, I have a question. So now that we've gone through this and we find out that some of the years I've paid a little bit more, are we able to go back and maybe try to get a refund on some of those years? How far can we go back?
Yeah, so during your annual reconciliation, so your G49, that's when you're gonna find any errors, like if you overpaid or if you underpaid on your GET.
Right.
That's when you find out. So when you're filling out your G49, it gives you the option, it tells you, okay, it shows you put the amount of how much you've paid in GET for the year. And then on the bottom, it'll say how much you were supposed to pay. And
Got
then
it.
because it's a formula, it'll come up and it'll say, oh, it looks like you overpaid, let's say $200. So it'll show that. So when you file your G49 and you mail it to them or you file it online, it'll show them. That's how they know, oh, you overpaid on your GET. And then if you do it online, they'll send you a message saying, okay, this is your overpayment and you get to pick your option. Do you want to apply it, carry forward to your tax returns for the state, or it'll give you options.
Okay. How about future? How about past years, for example?
Past years, you're gonna have to probably contact them and tell them like, hey, I think I have to amend my GET for, I don't know, 2015. Then
Right.
they're gonna let you know, like, okay, the threshold is 7 years, or they're gonna give you specific instructions.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Can I ask one more question really quick?
Of course.
Okay, are we able to, with all these amounts, is there anything that we can deduct out of this, or no, this is just straightforward GET tax? Nothing that we can deduct out of as far as
That's a great
expenses.
question. So this is GET, right? So you, on the GE form itself, you can't deduct anything. However, you can consult with your CPA and they'll tell you what, because you can, GET is part of deductions on your individual tax returns. It is a deduction in and of itself. So they'll give you consultation on what your options are and what fits each agent based on their financial situation.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have any questions?
Hi, Kristy.
Hi.
I'm not clear on applying for the license. Do everyone have to apply for the license?
So
Or you are giving some option?
the license, you mean the GE license number?
Yeah, GET license.
Yeah, so every real estate agent, because you're an independent contractor and this is your business, you have to apply for a GE license. You have to file for it first. It's $20 to generate a GE license number. The form is called the BB1 form.
Okay. All right.
And you can go to that website that's on the chat and pull up BB1 form or GE license, apply for GE license. When you apply for your BB1 form, please make sure that when they ask you your tax ID number and your business name, it is your full name. It is not an LLC. Again, it is not an LLC. In the state of Hawaii, you're not allowed to have your commissions be tied to your LLC.
Okay.
Other states are different, but for the state of Hawaii, that's why everyone's commission checks are generally paid out to their name. And
Okay.
at the end of the year, you're 1099 by your name and your social security, not an LLC. So when you're applying for your BB1 form, the business name is your full name. The tax ID number is your social security number. That's the tax ID number.
All right. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Does everyone have their GE license number or not yet? Okay, the next payment and the next GE filing is due on July 20th of this month. So don't forget. If anyone has any questions later on that they want to ask or they forgot to ask, I just put my email address in the chat so you can just copy and paste and save that if you have any questions. And you'll get an email shortly with a copy of the handouts and the PowerPoint slide for your reference, so you can save that for future reference when you're filing. Okie doke. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks,
Hey
Kristy.
guys, thank you. Bye.